We are rolling.
Oh boy. Like down a hill?
Yes.
Because it's already a train
We're
wreck.
so is my life, my dude. Speaking of that, today we are going to be talking about
The reason that I am in a fursuit. Well, the events that led up to it and a large-scale butterfly effect.
Yep.
Way to put it.
Basically, how did we become furries? Okay, so I'm going to start because I'm going to let you gather your thoughts.
I already know what I'm going to talk about.
Well,
You're just...
you want to fight? Okay.
These paws are meant for brawling, bitch!
Oh shit. Alright, so, how I got into the fandom was basically I want to say senior year of high school. This is when I properly joined because, there's a lot of people who lurk, they look at art occasionally. A lot of people just browse art. I'm in a furry fandom for the plot. But, so, I properly joined because I was actually on iFunny, and I started seeing, I saw a lot of the art, and I had already been interested all my life, just low-key. Like, Rainamon was my waifu when I played Digimon, Anyways, so, once I got to my senior year, I was kind of looking to fit in because I went through a lot of shit, because my girlfriend at the time, actually, we broke up right before the start of my senior year. I went to a really small school. Like, my graduating class was like 25, 30 kids. So...
Damn!
Yeah.
My graduating class was like 300.
So, like, all of, like, the hobbies and clubs and, like, all of those things. Because I had those things in common with my ex. I had to see her so much every single day. So I also lost a lot of friends just because of that breakup. It wasn't anything, like, too massive. It was more like, I'm turning 18 and she wasn't quite 16 yet. Like, there was a 2-year age gap, but we weren't going to be allowed to date because their parents were strict as hell. So, I fell into a depression. A lot of friends just flat out abandoned me or started being assholes. And so, I kind of was looking for somewhere to fit in. And I kind of just naturally ended up fitting in. Now, I don't really talk to any of the group that I first started talking to anymore, but then later on I met Booker randomly, and his mate Momo is like my absolute best friend in the world right now. And he helped me make my persona and then just kind of encouraged me to get out, start meeting people, and now here I am, sitting next to this idiot.
Mine isn't as sad, sorry to say. His is the feels trick. Mine is a lot more artistic integrity. When I was, surprise, I was in 6th grade doing a, what would you say, what are those library things? Like, just you volunteer at a library and you help kids with the summer reading activity stuff?
Yeah, I know. We didn't do that at my time.
I did that for a while, but they always encouraged us just to read while we were waiting, and at that age you love reading the world record books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was reading through the 2008, and they have a whole section about furries and fursuits.
Oh.
And you can bet that I was amazed by it, and I would keep going back to it to look at them and thinking it was the coolest thing I ever saw. And, surprise, I forgot about it for about 2-3 years. And all of a sudden I started seeing pictures of fursuits again because I started getting active on the PC and actually going online and stuff because I used to just play video games on it. And then I remembered the internet's a thing. Oh boy, what a day when I learned that was a thing. But,
Don't touch me with your dirty paws.
they're not dirty, I can't sanitize them daily. But, after I started learning about, seeing it all and stuff again, I started trying to get active in the community and stuff. And, one of the first things I did was I started watching a podcast called, Furcast, which a lot of people still watch. I preferred watching it back in the day, but now I kind of just fell out of it because I'm too busy to pay attention to it or anything. I still friends with a few of the people who were on it and that I talked to a lot in the chats and whatnot. But after that, for like 2 years, it kind of floated around in the what would you call that? The medium, the medium between being an internet furry and being a outside furry.
Furry purgatory.
Yeah,
Furgatory.
Purgatory.
We're gonna call it Furgatory.
So I was in Purgatory for 2 years. Then I went to my first meet. At that first meet, I saw like 5 different fursuits, and I thought that this was the coolest thing ever. And I started building a fursuit. And my parents immediately figured out I was a furry because all of a sudden their son is using a corner of his room to construct a animal costume.
So, I guess it's a good
Might
transition.
as well go straight into yours.
Yep. So, how I came out as a furry to my family and then friends. It was not intentional. I was actually very good at hiding it. We're not making a joke about the fact that I said not and I'm a furry, okay? Serious. So I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, so I was going to go to MFF, and I managed to actually just say that I was just going to be going down there and partying with friends, which is true. You know, that's completely true, because it was like right after my birthday. Speaking of which, this MFF is right after my 21st birthday. So, if you see me and you recognize me,
give him booze.
I'm going to be way more
Give
drunk
him more booze.
than I need to be. So, what happened was, I never mentioned a convention on purpose because I just wanted to keep it simple, keep it clean, you know. I just wanted my parents to not know. I had hid this really well. I was going to cons and meets secretly. Like, I just tagged along with them for FM the same year and got off without a single question. I just said we were going to the Mall of America, you know? Like, my parents were like...
3 whole days at Mall of America.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of things to see there, you know?
Not
Nobody's
really.
gonna ask a
We
question.
did it in 3 hours.
Anyways, so, you know, my now long gone ex that we will not even be talking about is
We'll call her Butts.
She mentioned, now keep in mind, several times she's actually called me by my persona name in front of my parents, but they didn't really notice. That was like an actual heart attack. Like, I'm like...
Meanwhile, my parents just got confused because my girlfriend would randomly call me Chewy.
Yeah, it's not a fun situation. But
Mine thought it was silly.
But
His were confused.
no, mine just thought it was like a nickname because melon, it sounds like a fruit, you know, like it sounds like it could be a cute little nickname, but you know,
Or that you're extremely gay.
I'm pretty fruity.
We both are.
So, back to the topic, because we're just going on all sorts of tangents right now, is my parents asked us what we were going to be doing down there, and she answered with, oh, we're going to a convention, which immediately sparked red flags for me, because it's like, oh shit, now I have to explain some stuff, and I need to explain it in a way that I can get off. So I said, we're going to an anime convention, right? Because I figured that makes it easy, right? Well, my dad actually looked up anime conventions and found that there were none that weekend. So to cope with that, I just said, oh, my phone's dead, and turned it off for the rest of the weekend so that I could avoid talking about it for as long as humanly possible. And then on the last day of the con, my mom was freaking out, so I had to break down and explain what being a furry is, why I feel comfortable here, why I don't really... It's not really like a sexual thing like a lot of people seem to portray it as. Like, I'm not running around and just like, you know, like when I see a fursuiter, I'm not like, oh my god, I'm like, hey, you're adorable! And like, I want to run up and hug them. I want to have a good time. I want to like goof around and like, you know, look at art, buy art.
That's my favorite thing about the fandom too, is I get to be cute and fluffy.
And someday maybe I will. But yeah,
You
so
will.
like,
You
my
will.
mom was cool with it, and then I had to explain it to my dad, which was a whole nightmare. But it's fine. He doesn't know that I'm bisexual yet, but he knows I'm a furry. So I don't know how being a furry is more acceptable than being, whatever. Anyways, I think this is a pretty long episode, so
You did a lot of talking, You realize that we're not a therapy service, right?
oh. Why
Yeah,
the fuck did I drive an hour and 30 minutes to be here?
Your bill's in the mail.
Damn.
You
Anyways,
may want to get some insurance too.
that's all, folks.
See ya!